Okay, so if you can tell me your name.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect, actually, great.
Okay, I'm Owen Gordon.
Okay, and then can you tell me about what you would you like people to know about your work and your art and even this exhibition? Anything you'd like people to know?
Well, originally I'm from Jamaica, and I believe that most of my work might have some influence from my earlier bringing up in Jamaica, especially the figurative painting. And because that's a lot of figurative painting was done as a young artist in Jamaica.
Right,
That's before we moved to abstraction.
right.
And
And did
like
it,
you can see the band
Right.
at the Ioban Street Rehearsal, a lot of figurative paintings into that.
right.
But I've sort of started doing abstraction.
Why?
As you
How
can
come?
see with, well, abstraction was kind of my forte.
Uh-huh.
Although I didn't respect it the way I respect figurative painting, because with abstraction you have to abstract something. And I was a little tired of painters just like, you know, the donkey tail business. The donkey can paint better than your
Right.
Khrushchev.
I like that. Dog tail business. Dog can paint better with their tail than.
Yeah, because Khrushchev was opposed to abstract painting.
Right.
And he said in a speech that a donkey could actually do a better job than some of these things.
Right.
And, you know, I decided,
And you're talking about Khrushchev, the Russian
yeah, he was a
president?
Russian president in the 50s sometime there.
Right.
And so I adopted that style. So I didn't want to just do that because I used to do that just to earn a living.
Right.
Do a lot of abstract painting that dry fast, and I give it a name, woman in contrast, so and so. And it was far from they were beautiful decorative pieces. If I use some intellectual depth, I might find a proper title for them. But you know, you're trying to get money for your dinner.
I hear you.
Up at the University of West Indies, what's that? Oh, it's women in contrast. Oh, we'll buy it. How much you want? $5. And so I did a lot of abstract, but I always figure had to abstract something. Like Picasso's good at that. He would turn a wheel square,
Right.
or you know, he made a cabbage square. That's perfect abstraction. But some artists just want to dabble, and it's become a real creative stuff. But there's nothing to be abstract. It's just creative work.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. I do admire that work.
Right. Right. And so you were doing that earlier. So when did you start painting? At what point in your life did you say you started?
Oh, I started painting when I was a little picnic.
Yeah?
When I won a Sunday school watercolor set.
Yeah.
And I paint sort of not by numbers, but I painted a lot of, well, yeah, it was, you know, you get little imagery, you paint in little ducks and stuff.
Right. Right.
So I got the feel of it. But I think I was born to be an artist. When I was a little picnic back in Jamaica there, I used to be very creative. But not in painting. I used to just make things. I used to specialize in melting up lead and putting it in the water.
Beautiful.
Thank God I didn't put the water in the lead. I wouldn't be here today. Because apparently when lead is molten and it's wet to create little balls.
Yes.
Very dangerous. But I used to get these creative patterns. When you pour the molten lead in the water, and that inspired me.
Right.
And of course I dabbled with a little bit of painting, but I wasn't somebody who could say he was an artist.
Right. Right.
Mind you, I was inspired by an artist named Spencer. And he lived on my street. He's a famous Jamaican artist. I forget his first name now, Spencer. But not that I wanted to paint because of him. I think my painting started when I was a Rasta fella. I had to earn a living, and I copied a picture out of the Ethiopian cultural history. And then I did another one, couldn't sell it. But I just did a face and put red, gold, and green, and the American Consul General came and bought it from a craft market vendor named Carmen Manley. She sold it. And he was so impressed, the American Consul General, he went out and he bought some watercolor not many, but little oil paints and canvas.
Right.
And told the lady to let me paint something, he'll buy it. I didn't have a slight inspiration. I'm going around trying to paint flowers and all these things. But I have to gradually develop. A lot of it had to do with being raster. Because a lot of the dread were very creative people. You learn a lot.
Right.
And one dread in particular, Ross Sarge, he was a commercial artist. But he also painted, and you learn a little thing from that. It's a combination of people. My young friends were all artists.
Right.
One fella, Buzzy, we ran around together, and he tell me what the best brush, and they get a little from here, and then of course it's what you'd say, it's a learning experience. You learn and you make a mistake, but for some reason it's funny, I was told years ago that I'm a better wood carver than a painter.
Oh, really?
I don't want to call their name now, but very famous Jamaican people, they're deceased now, they're very good. So I don't want to merge them and give their names out, but I remember once, I used to be a very good wood sculptor.
Wow.
I did that for a living.
Uh-huh.
But then I wanted to paint it. Oh, no, you're a better wood carver. No, you can't paint that good. Well, I gave up paint carving for a long time because of my restraint and you dirty up your place. And I don't have a carpenter shop.
Right.
But with painting now, it doesn't dirty up your place.
Right.
It might get a little crowded with stocks of painting. So overall, my forte now is painting. And so the wood carving is kind of like passe.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not even sure if I'll ever take that up.
Oh, so you probably have pieces that are still out there that you carve that are in people's collections and so on.
Tons and tons of stuff. And even the elongated wood sculpture that I developed, I don't think it's artist. I think it's just cura now because they sold so much to the tourists.
Right.
That it's nowadays just cura. It's not hard. But I did have some beautiful wooden sculpture. I still do some here. I have them here now. That's very unique.
Sounds great. That would be another exhibition that would be great to see of that kind of work.
My next carving is going to have a spiritual element.
Uh-huh.
Because I rescued a lot of trees. I used to work for the city, and I rescued a tree. You'd find a tree just going in a little rock or a little piece. And I took it to my house, planted it, but then they get too big, taking over the yard.
Right.
So I had to cut them down. So I grew these little things from saps, from little, what do you call
Seedlings or?
Seedlings.
Yeah.
And they took over the yard. I had to cut them down, but I saved the wood. Because I didn't want to throw the wood out, because I was related to this plant by rescuing it from a sidewalk or on top of a rock or something, and was so happy to live. So what I did, I collect the wood, and I intend to do some sculpture that I can save the soil. I grew this thing from a seed. I rescued this plant down on the lakeshore somewhere. It would have been died,
Right.
So yes, there will be a spiritual element to my next set of wood sculpture.
Right. Brilliant. And so the piece I want to pick up back on is, so you were doing the abstract and then you went to the figurative, just probably for marketability as well. But then it seems like, as you said, you're going back to the abstract again. So just because it's where your passion is.
Yeah, well, it's my forte. Yeah,
And your forte, right?
Yeah, sorry. This is my forte.
Yeah. No, and so how would you describe this exhibition, this particular exhibition now? How would you describe this exhibition?
Very successful. Today is the first day and it's already doing quite well.
Wonderful.
For the visitors and of course the sales not doing too badly.
Good. But how would you describe the collection of the work in here? Is it like,
This work is actually a collection of memories. They're memories of the past, like some of them are allegorical, like the beta, but like the band, and the one at the corner there is called the La Bomboniere. It's a restaurant in Puerto Rico.
right?
That is a real experience.
Yeah. what I love about when I was reading the curatorial statement was how much all the pieces have a story.
Yes, they do.
You know, and so it's actually a document, almost a visual document of your journey through life. You know,
Very true, yes.
which I found to the point that I wanted to know more about each piece. I was like, okay, I wonder what the story is. I particularly like the one about the, was it Dominican Republic, where you were having the place you went to have dinner, you went to have
Yes,
food.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
That's,
oh, it's Puerto Rico, right?
It's called the La Bomboniere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So all that kind of stuff. So anyway, well, I won't keep you longer. Thank you. It was a
My
pleasure.
indeed, sir.
And I love the fact that you told me even more stories I didn't realize, because there's a rich history of your life. And so you born in Jamaica, grew up there, but then you moved here, and I pretty much lived your adult life here, right? So
Is this a publisher magazine?
I put it on my Instagram page and share it, and then I also do my YouTube channel just to get people to know what's happening in the city and that they come and support you, know about your work, right? So thank you for the bigger story.
My pleasure, sir.
And lots of luck and success. I'm looking forward to the sculpture, the wood sculptures eventually. All right, thank you.
My pleasure indeed.
Take care.
Cool, eh?
Beautiful.
I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling we met before at U of T, at the U of T. I think you were wearing, maybe it's not you, you know.
I go there.
You go there, like you were wearing
Opening
a,
thing.
yeah, a blue, you were wearing a blue, one piece, what do you call it? Jumper, like a thing, a long, I forget what they call them, right?
I mean, the jumpsuit.
Yes, but it was all blue. But it might not have been you, but yes.
Sounds fabulous. That sounds good.
But you'd like to own that, right? Why not? Yeah, I love this work. This is beautiful.
I relate a lot to his work. I work very similar.
Yeah?
Yes. Colorful and like naive perspective.
Yeah.
But just when you least expect it, it's not naive.
No, it's not.
But it is. Right? Like this is.
Yeah.
And then there'll be something that isn't. So it throws you off and totally into right here.
Oh, that's my favorite one. I'm coming down there.
Yeah. What's this? Picture window.
I see you came back from the exhibition.
I did, yeah, and I just had a good interview with him just now.
Me too.
Yes, how are you?
Was your last summer?
Yes,
Yeah, two ago.
maybe two, yeah. It depends on the shoe.
Did you choose yours specifically like you don't?
I don't, but these happen to be very clean. Yeah, I just have ones that make that.
Because he was interviewing on
Yeah, it depends on the shoe and it depends on the weather.
Taiwanese. And I love how he makes the texture.
here's my piece that I absolutely adore. And yes, I know I'm not doing this in the right orders because I'm just sometimes going to the piece. Of course it's sold. Of course it's sold. Like I ever do. I love how he got the La Bombardier sign backwards because of course that would have been facing outward. And so what he's seeing from inside would be it backwards. See those little details. Love that. And I guess that might be people outside choosing from the counter. Right? It's just so brilliant. And then the man eating the cantaloupe every day. And I assume that this is, well, I assume this is his table. Brilliant. I love this one a lot. And darn, it sold, of course. Oh well. Help me keep the money in my pocket. The red dress. You get the full effect. It's beautiful, beautiful. And you get these little, again. Dresser with the reflection inside the window. And still what is reflected is colorful and it's beautiful. All this color. Love all this color.
The Metiver Gallery has an opening down the street today.
Yeah? Okay, where's that?
The Gallery.
Okay, where, do you know where it is?
Yeah, I think it's straight down here.
Right.
On the left, I guess, south of King, but if you look it up, it's Feheley.
Perfect, thanks for letting me know.
Inuit.
Yeah.
It's the only devoted Inuit gallery.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'll go check it out. Thanks so much. Have a good evening. like this one. I love the abstraction. I love that. Oh, that's just hitting me that a lot of his paintings have some kind of abstraction. Even when it's figurative, there's an abstraction element that is playing. So that alone behind is a whole other painting. Literally, that is a painting in and of itself. Right? Stunning.
He was busy on lunch with the in
1960.
Oh my God, this is like simple, beautiful, beauteous. And I love all his little pieces of abstractions. Now that I've talked to him, I can see how that is significant in the pieces. Open the window? Just to see the... I can? Thank you. This is extreme social distance. Yeah, it's the one from outside that I took earlier. It's going to be a bit hard because I have to stand up on the thing to get it fully. You saw it earlier. Might get it at the end. And again, all that stuff. I know I keep saying it over and over. Your whole broken record was my grandmother looks like a Sankey. It's like the stuff in the background. Love that. And these cheers, Courtney. C.W. McFarlane, Courtney McFarlane. Cheers, eh? Oh, I'm just seeing that presence of chairs, sitting down, cheers. Yes, cheers. Huh. I'm just seeing the whole cheer thing now. Different kinds of seating arrangements, which maybe doesn't necessarily bear repeating, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. It's beautiful, beautifully, what is it? staged, mounted, is that what you call it?
Okay, maybe it fell out.
So, Owen, I forgot to say, I'm also from Jamaica. I hadn't told you that. I don't know if you
Yes,
realize
it is.
that.
Oh, you're from Jamaica?
I am from Jamaica as well.
Trinidad.
Yes, it sounds like I'm from
A
Trinidad?
little slight accident, a little bit.
The hybrid, you know, when I spend a lot of time with lots of different people, so over time. But no, I moved here back in the 70s, mid 70s.
We're from in Jamaica.
I'm on the border of Trelawney and St. Anne. It's a little town called Lorimer's, another town called Battersea. But then I went to school in Clarendon, up in Spaldings. But then our little shopping town was Christiana. And then Mandeville would be the next big town, the closest to us. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather's from St. Anne's.
Oh. Do you know where? Which area?
Lime St. Anne's.
Okay, that's not that far. Anyway, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Oh, you lost something.
Not my tooth. That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. That's not good for you.
Okay, we'll find it before you leave.
Oh, you know, that's it's a meter. Oh, sorry. I'll be right back.
No, that's okay. I just realized, you know, I didn't locate myself as the way that he located himself, so that's why I just had that little moment. Just saying that, yeah, I'm a Yordi as well. Another chair. And I guess the poet has their little poem in their hand. Oh, this is a beautiful one. It's also sold. I love the squares and the blue.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, nice seating. Clothes in the background. Banana tree. And is that, like, I won't say a Bible, but it's not necessarily. Could be a book. Girlfriend is, you know, illiterate and love our book. Read our little novel. But probably even Resistance. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Fabric merchant. Let's see, it's sort of how I like that thing about right into 2021, which is probably means how long it took him to paint it. Which is brilliant, right? Because you think these things happen overnight or you sit down and just paint. Or I could be wrong, so I probably should check in.
It's a bit more open, like it's not quite as, this is very.
I have to ask before I leave. But I love this. Look at all the abstraction here. Now that he's told me that, I can't not see it. So even when he does figurative, there's stuff going on with geometry. Is the word I was thinking of. It's almost a slightly mathematical, which I guess abstraction sometimes is. But we mean, no, it's a chat out on the head. And so any of you watching this who are saying, what kind of nonsense you're talking about, you can correct me in the comments, as you all usually do, which I welcome and love. So go ahead. Yes. It's beautiful. This one's, love that. I mean, I love them all, but particularly. And this one is called Bag and Broomers. Street sweepers. My friend Camille Ort would say, crash program workers. And then there, always the presence of an abstract piece. Brilliant, brilliant. Oh, there, you know, I read something else. You know what I read when I read that. For initially, because my eyes have to make sense, and initially I saw something else. I thought, what? We're going to sit here in private part just so, but then I realized they're in QC. Right? And then
You could do it. You could do a.
there you go. Again, I love that field. And then her little red chair. Red seems to be popular. It's like a similar, the same stool over and over again. Okay, I will probably post a silent version of this with musical, so you don't hear all my yabba yabba. Again, the abstraction. Love it. Oh, here's another piece.
Background of this work. Right, I mean, that's a little bit different, but I mean, certainly not something that.
Yeah, that's really nice and strong. You know, reds. Too partial to the reds.
That's so good.
Not too going.
So good.
I might have been able to take that scene if I've lived for a long time, but it's so young. Right.
So good. And then you see on the line.
Talking about now we're
So.
in your abstract work, and you might be willing to do like a commission in a specific dimension.
Don't worry, I didn't look at. I was careful about not getting any of the things that would give away any detail. No. And you know when sometimes they do say like a 2010 to 2021, is that how long it took to do the painting? Is that the
Yeah, so
okay,
a
life
lot
of
of
the
his work he's
right.
Gone back to a second time.
Right.
So when it refers to 2 dates, he's painted it and then gone back and edited it, or
Right.
as he says, renovated it, which I think is a
I
great
love
word.
renovated
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So renovated it.
So they've transformed in some way, and
Perfect.
some of them have been recently updated. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. No. I thought that, and I thought, but I just want to check to make sure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm glad I came back.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, there's so much work that you didn't get to see, so I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, and I was struck now as I'm looking at you because I'm an art enthusiast, but I don't always pay attention to the technicality of it.
Yeah.
But like I think with abstraction, I love what I call it almost a mathematical rigor to the shapes and the combinations and even proportions of them.
Compositionally,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know it's always work because when I just interviewed him, he said, "Oh, that's what he really loves is the abstraction." So even in the figurative, you see it in the work, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Even all of the backdrops and everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you.
That's all it's saying. You guys don't have their money.
But yeah, I think that would be really
here is the catalog. The work. And what's great here then is you get more information about each piece. So the Bombardier we read about before. And then now you see about the bag and broomers. Oh wow. And this band one, right? Of course, the had this when I was going around. Oh, better. And Mr. Rowe. Hmm. Oh my God. So that's it. And then the pricings are here. You want to check it out? All right, let's just stop doing that there. It's better.
Hi, how are you?
Mr. Rao. How much Mr. Rao is? Where's Mr. Rao? Mr. Rao, I'm just gonna have to feel. Oh, there. All right, folks. You know, my favorite now, of course, you know, emotional jazz at my heartstrings. And I'm like, it's gone. Because, you know, my grandmother raised child and here.
They were strong, firm, and very expensive. So, and they didn't have the canvas yet. So that's to do a proper, and I mean, that's a small one, so if you get a large canvas, you're talking the stretch of one could run me at least $1,000.
So
They haven't put the canvas yet.
when you go back to like all of the history of all the famous Picassos and everyone else, does everyone choose their substrate based on availability, or are there sort of expectations to be met?
You know, with Picasso, what I learned is that they used to buy the used canvas. You know, the museums, they have these old dinosaur canvases with some archaic fella nobody knows. We have them in Jamaica too. Now, most museums have them. Most have old English fellas. And these are very large canvas. Picasso used to buy them from the museum. And they would take over. Some of the work of some ancient work not to the God.
So this is the intersection. This is where we are. Richmond Street East and George Street. And yeah, it's Richmond Street East again. Big on bold if you can't see it. And then here. And I think that's some snow squalls coming. See if it is really come across. So the Metiver Gallery is there, and above it is Haven, which is this amazing little store that I'm gonna walk up there and you'll see it in a little bit. So yeah, we're getting some snow squalls. This is flurries. Little flurries are falling. So this is what happens here in Toronto, Canada. Is that great? You get a little flavor of my little cold city I'm living in. Lord God help me. It's Yordies, and Caribbean folks and tropical folks have to survive in these places, in these conditions, to get used to it. And the George Street Dine over there, it's pretty cool. It's been there forever. And then down there is really George Brown College. Just going west into the downtown core. You see the CN Tower from here? Nope. It's too far away west. And so what I want to show you before I wrap up here is this is Haven. Really cool store. And see? Yes, stuff for your hands to sanitize if you're so inclined. And go up. Stairs. Go up. This is the shop. It's kind of gorgeous. All right? Sort of a high-end menswear. A lot of it's Japanese imports. So the price point is, you can imagine. So yeah. Beautiful store. And so what you're seeing was from outside when I was standing out there, you're seeing this view. Alright, I'm not go too deep, but you get the idea. It's gorgeous. See, I was over there. Alright. So I think no, I'm not buying nothing, I'm just coming up for showing. Alright, ciao. Lovely. I was happy with that little interview. It was a bit awkward, but he just shared so much that I was not expecting. That he is not just a painter, and his whole fascination with abstraction more so, and then seeing it thematically even in his other work that was less about abstraction, and then also his wood work, that he does wood carving and stuff like that. So I'll keep you posted when that show comes up. Alright? And the other thing I loved was his inspirations, the people along the way who kind of, were like patrons, right? The guy who bought his first piece and went out and bought supplies for him to continue doing that work, and then the ones who said things to him about what they thought he actually is better at or could do or should do. And just how life evolves like that, right? I keep saying to people, when people say, oh, I did it myself, bullshit. There's no one who's ever done it themselves. I'm sorry. Usually there's some enablers along the way, which doesn't mean you aren't. Your hustle and your chutzpah and your motivation and your hard work and drive and all that isn't to be factored in, which probably lots of people have people who are there, enabling, and then they don't make the best use of it. But hey, I think life is just a mix of all kinds of ways of living in it. Because God help us if the whole of us were having big drive and a hustle like crazy. Can you imagine? As it is, it is its own thing as it is. But here we are. All right. Saturday, December the 4th, 2021 in Toronto, Ontario. Bye all. Yeah, I'm going to 50 minutes. Why not? I'm kind of vibing on these, so I'm going to look at those and see what's up. Bye.